Hi again, everyone. This is part 2 in my series dealing with toxic emotions. In part 1, I have been using the acronym DISSECT as my guide in delivering or in sharing. Now, I dealt with D in part 1, D for diamond, the diamond that God has placed in us. The drowning out of that diamond by different things which I classify as boulders, toxic things. I classify some as boulders, some as pebbles, and some as sand grains. I also spoke about the diamond being a secure space. That secure space could be even classified also as our mind, because our mind is the very root of our existence. Whatever we conceive in the mind, we can achieve, it is said. So each of us in that jar where that diamond is placed, that purpose, that beautiful being that God has created, it's in a jar. The diamond chip is in a jar. And in that jar, they are interceptors, things that have intercepted our purpose, things that has interrogated us and interfere with our thought process for us to think less than what God has created us to be. I call them interrogators, interferences, interceptors, and intruders. And I classify them as boulders, pebbles, and sand in that jar. And each and every person has a mixture of these. And I also mentioned that people view things differently. So what could be a boulder to one person might be a pebble to another person. I also went on to speak about the saturation of that jar and the spin-off, the emotional spin-offs to these intruders. And these intruders can be a whole lot of things. I don't want to really take up the time to go fully into everything that I've said, but you can see part 1 of my presentation. Now, I spoke about the saturation of this jar, and the spin-off, anger, fear, anxiety are some of them. So I am at the other S now. I did with DIS and I'm at the other S, which I will, in this I will include our subconscious. I will also include our self-esteem, and I will also speak about sicknesses that can derive from these negative impact on our emotions, from these intruders and interceptors in our secure space. Now, the subconscious, there are a lot of things buried in our subconscious. Lots of things that are basically repercussions of our experiences, both from childhood, even in our adult age, and they impact the way we relate, the way we live, the way we see things, the way we reason things, the way we deal with things, and ultimately can have negative or positive impact on how we relate to each other. Now, even some simple things that we face, well, probably not so simple things, because of the negative effect on our emotions, the impact of these toxic things on our emotions, a lot of the sicknesses that we face, physical sicknesses, hypertension, diabetes, and even cancer, is a result of these deposits in our jar, as I would say. It can also result in other physical effects like skin breakouts, and it can even cause cancer. Our thoughts, our toxic emotions can even lead up to us suffering from terminal illnesses. A lot of persons deal with them differently. Some people turn to drugs. Some people are sexual promiscuous. Some persons have lost their hope because of these things that have been deposited in them in their secured space from a child. Now, I'm here to say it's time to sift through. I'm dealing with the other S. It's time to sift through, man. It's time for us to do some evaluation. It's time for us to empty the jar. Now, we're gonna, look back at the things, because who we are, whether in a negative or a positive way, is a ripple effect of, our experiences and our circumstances. And if we are not conscious, we can be driven down the wrong path. So now it's time to do an evaluation. Sorry about that. It's time to evaluate, our thoughts and emotions. It's time for us to really sit back and think back, those things that are deeply buried in our subconscious. So I'm just saying, empty the jar. Begin to take out the boulders. Begin to take out the sand grain. Begin to take out the pebbles. And how one of the approaches that I recommend is that some of the stuff, as you think back, to the root of your existence, as you think back to the foundation of even who you are and how you behave, you'll come up with some stuff. They are embedded deep down, but they are there. If you are not able to do it all by yourself, pray and ask the Lord to reveal to you the things that are buried in your subconscious that is having a negative impact on you. And I will say, I've come up with 3 things as pertaining to emptying the jar. I'm saying some of them you're going to have to deal with. So when you identify the stuff, if it is that someone has planted some negative seed in your life, or someone has hurt you, you need to deal with it. Probably you need to pick up the phone and you need to say to the person X, Y, and Z and get rid of it. And do some forgiving, man. Forgive people. Forgive people who have hurt you. Don't walk around with the baggage. Don't walk around with this heavy load on your shoulder. Just forgive people, just set it aside. Then and dump some of the things, man. Some of the things that we store up. Some of the things that we have in our subconscious, some of the things that we walk around with, man, we should not even have them. They're so insignificant. The hatred, the grudge, and the malice. Dump them, man. Throw them in the garbage bin. Throw them away. Just do some assessment right now. Just look back. Just take some quiet time. Go in your closet, in your quiet space, and just empty the jar, because the diamond is there, ready to rise up. But all these things that you have gathered up in your thoughts and in your mind, all these pebbles and the boulders and this little sand grain, man, get rid of them. And forgiveness is one of the ways that we can easily get rid of them. Some of the things you might not be able to deal with them right now, and you might not be able to dump them, because some of them are deeply seated. So, but I would say those things I would say diarize or, diagnose. Some persons would probably have to go and speak to somebody about it. Might be somebody who have sense. Don't really talk to any and anybody. Someone who, who knows God, I would say, because only a godly person and somebody who has a relationship with God and who is deep in God can really direct you in the right path. So talk to somebody about it. Some persons would probably, they are so scarred that they probably need professional help. So that is what I say, diarize. Diarize the action. Look at where you are at now. Look where you want to be, and start to just jot down some steps that you think that you should take, because not all the things can be dealt with instantaneously. Some it's going to take time. Some it's going to be a process. And some persons would definitely need professional help. So let us start emptying, doing some analysis. Let us start emptying our jar, right? So that is E. I'm on to C now. Come to a level of consciousness. Decide, right? Decide that you will not make a decision that you will not continue living this way, because it's like the emotions, the negative things have enslaved you, and the true purpose that God has created you for cannot arise. The diamond is being suppressed. You are living in hopelessness. You're living with all these negative emotions that, I mean, you cannot move forward because it's coming out in the way you behave, in the way you react to other persons, and people are looking at you differently. So be conscious. Make a conscious effort. Utilize your cognitive skills and be aware. And even as you empty, even as you try to evaluate and analyze and diarize, make some decisions. Protect your inner space. You're saying, I am in this position right now. This is where I'm at. You're saying, okay, this is where I want to be. And you are gonna, this is in your evaluation, in your analysis, you're gonna put steps in place to how, and day by day, and as I say, some things are gonna take time, some things gonna happen over time, but at least you have a plan to say how I'm gonna reach where I wanna be, where I want my emotions to be, where I want my attitude to be, where the type of life I want to live and be happy. So begin to write down some of the stuff, begin to seek counseling, professional and otherwise, to get that place, and be conscious going forward. You're not going to take on any more baggage. You understand? There's some people that are character assassinators. There's some people who are, you know, picked out by the enemy to thwart your thoughts, to derail you from your purpose, and you must be should be able to identify those persons. Walk in consciousness. I mean, before you take people in your space, you do an analysis. Listen to them first. Listen, watch their behavior. I mean, try to assess them if they are genuine. Don't let people come in your inner space. Some people will come and they will criticize you, but you have to be able to differentiate whether this is constructive criticism or whether this is destructive, this is criticism. And you have to put up that bar to say, look here, I am not going to let this person in my space, because some people do things, they have different motives. Some of their motives are genuine and pure. Some of the motives are negative, and it's to tear you down. So look here now, man. And put your cognitive skills into action. Reject all negative. If somebody says something about you, or that you know that is not you, don't absorb it. Don't carry it around. Don't let it enter your inner court. That's what I'd call it. Your inner space, to even affect you. Look at the person we're stalking. Say to yourself, is this person worthy of talking to me? And I'm not saying you're going to say you're better than other persons, but try and identify the motive of that person. And if it is something constructive, you know, you analyze it and you look into it and you see if what that person is saying, if you can really improve on it, if you can really apply it in an effective way. And stay away from naysayers. Stay away from dream killers. Sometimes don't even tell your dreams and your hope and your aspirations to some people, because they are just designed to block. They are dream blockers. Be smart, man. Become conscious, man. Put your cognitive skills into action. Don't add on any more baggage upon what you already have gathered. Be sensible. Make a decision. Say, this is it now, and I'm not going to take on anything else. Put up that wall, no? Sometimes when people come to you with something, just start pleading the blood of Jesus in your spirit. You don't have to be even saying it, saying out loud. Just plead the blood of Jesus in your spirit. So come to that level of consciousness where you said, enough is enough. No more. I'm dealing with me. I'm dealing with the past. I'm emptying my jar. I'm not going to be absorbing anything else negative. Nothing else negative will saturate this jar. Make a decision today. This is part 2, and there will be a part 3. So listen on and give me your feedback. Thank you so much. Bye.